Good afternoon, my dear students. Today is time to start our lecture. I see only 6-7% today. It's not a plenty of students. Okay. What about hearing? Could you listen to me carefully and everything is correct with the connection? Naris, Nadisha, how you hear me? Good, okay, fine. So today's topic is introduction to Splanchnology. This is a science. This is a section of human anatomy where we will study internal organs, and this lecture is divided for the general questions and some kind of common feature of internal organs. We will talk about general information, a little bit information about philo and ontogenesis and abnormalities. Let's start. Let's get started. And first of all, what does it mean, Splanchnology? This is a term. This is a Greek term because it comes from the Greek word splanchna, and it means entrails or internal organs, what is inside of our body. And you can see the complex or the set of internal organs of almost all internal organs from the neck. It is the tongue where you see here. This is the internal organs in the chest cavity, and as well the abdominal cavity. The most quantity, the most organs, internal organs are located in the abdominal cavity. So you see that it would be all of the organs inside of our body, and regarding the part of our body, internal organ would be on the neck, chest, and abdominal and pelvic cavity. So please remember this term, Splanchnology. It is very often we will use this term in our department during our lessons. And one of the common feature of internal organs of vertebrates as well as of human, it is that all of internal organs are organized like tubes. Usually we talk about 3 tubes. This is a digestive tube. It is for digestive system. Respiratory tubes for respiratory systems, and urogenital tubes. It is combined genital and ural organs. So now all of those tubes open or have communications with the external environment. Some kind of some kind of nutrition, some kind of chemical products or products come from the outside in our body and then go out after our internal organs produce or making something with the foods. It would be foods, it would be air or water, everything what we eat or we drink, and then the products after then these products recombinated in our body, they go out. This is the most common feature of all organs systems. What kind of organ systems we have in our body? First of all, this is digestive system, and it is a quite big system. A lot of organs are included in the digestive system, in these systems, and we will start our studying in Splanchnology with the digestive system. Then it is a respiratory system, and it is also quite big and interesting system. Then urinary system, reproductive system, endocrine systems. This is a complex of different glands located in a different part of the body, and this is the organs and glands what produce hormones. This is a special chemicals inside of our body, and they regulate all system or metabolism of our body. And the sixth point is a lymphoid, or we call another word immune system. That is also complex or some kind of combination of internal organs. More about digestive system. It provides the body with nutrition and removes undigested food. That is the same what I said before. When we eat something like nutrition, like milk, meat, bread, and everything, and then after digesting process, some kind of foods, debris get out of the body with the digestive system organs. Second system is the respiratory systems, a very important one, and it supplies our cells and tissue in our body with oxygen, and as well as for the digestive system, the products what should be removed from the body, like carbon dioxide, and it go out. And you can see that another function of respiratory system is the voice production. It is very important for human because our voice helps us to communicate each other. Urinary systems usually remove some not useful products like a salt or metabolic products from our body, and all of those products should be dissolved in water, because only water, it is easy when water is getting out of the body, and this is the way to avoid, to eliminate products from our organism. Endocrine systems, you see a lot of glands. This is a thyroid glands on the neck, pancreas, adrenal glands, and pituitary glands in the brain, as well as some of hormones are produced in genital systems, like ovarian and testes in men here. And another that is a reproductive systems. This is a complex organs what ensure human reproduction, and they help to transmit genetic information. Lymphoid systems protect our body against viruses and microorganisms, and it maintains also the consistency of the internal environment. And you see a lot of green organs inside our body. They are from lymphoid or immune, in other words, immune systems. Next slide is the plan for study of internal organs. And you see, usually we ask our students to follow this plan when they have to inform, to answer for the question, when you have question about internal organs. First of all, this is the organ name. It is very necessary to know Latin and Greek name, as well as English and as well as Russian, because I hope when you come to the clinic here in St. Petersburg, and I doubt if you can collaborate or cooperate or speak with the patients in English, because it is a seldom situation when patients can speak English. So it is necessary to know to study Russian and Russian words and Russian name of organs as well. The second point is external structure of organs. It would be shape, size, sometimes density. You can describe parts or surfaces of organs, and of course to name them. Because we study human anatomy in cooperation, in combination with the physiology. You have to know functions of the organs. Fourth point is the topography. What does it mean, topography? Topography, it is a organ relation depending of the body area, depend of the skeleton or bone. This is called skeletotopy. And the third subject in topography is synthopy. What does it mean, synthopy? Synthopy is the relations, or we describe what kind of organ are nearby, or this is like a neighbors for organs. So we usually discuss about Synthopy in surgery, because it is necessary to know what kind of organs are nearby when you operate somebody. And it is also necessary for therapists or the internist doctors. 5 point is internal structure. We would like to know what kind of structure or combination of structure are located inside of organ. Sometimes we describe the layers of organ for hollow organs, and we talk about structural and functional units. Some organs, what we call parenchymatosis organs, or dense organs. Usually it is necessary to know when you have exam. In the end of our course you will have exam, and almost all questions about organs has the question about development. So you need to know what is the source of organ. I mean, what kind of embryon layers, what kind of embryon layers organ is come from, and it is necessary to know blood supply, innervation, and lymphatic drainage of organ. The last points usually we don't study during Splanchnology, but we have special section like angiology for blood supplies and neurology for innervation, as well as we will study lymphatic drainage. It is part of the angiology when we study lymphatic vessels in the end of second semester. These tables contains different names of organs, and you see this is the 4 columns. First is English, and you see, maybe you know all of these terms in English, but it is necessary to study Latin, and it is necessary to study Greek names. Why it is it is obligatory to know Greek names of organs? Usually we use Latin when we study human anatomy, but in clinical practice, when a doctor speak each other and discussing patient diseases, they use very often Greek names. And maybe you know, if you see a Latin name of stomach is ventriculus. But when we talk about diseases of ventriculus, we call it gastritis or gastrectomy. It means that we use Greek names. The last column is the Russian names, and I hope you will know these names very well when you come here, because it is necessary to cooperate with these terms in our clinic and discuss the patient state and etc. Well, what about morphological features of organ? It would be shape, it would be size, it would be density. Because sometimes organ shape is different when what we have in what we mind before. Like if you see, this is a heart, and the heart shape is different in comparison with the common meaning of heart shape. What usually is this is a picture of the postcards during State Valentine Day, and sometimes you see that it is absolutely different shape. We have our main organ of circulation systems in our body. This is I hope you recognize that this is the hepar or yekor or liver in English. This is a quite big, large organ in abdominal cavity, and this organ has a lot of necessary function. It produce some secrets we call it whole or it produces a lot of materials like proteins and carbohydrates, and this is like a big laboratory in our body. Some kind of organs has a very strange shape, like a stomach. I hope you recognize have recognized these organs, and how does it looks like? How does it looks like? I hope this is like a tube, a regular tube or a retort. This is a special vessels for chemical vessels, and maybe it is similar to stomach. And you see the line what divide the stomach on different parts. These parts we call cardia. This one we called fundus. This is the body of the stomach or corpus, and this is a pyloric channel. Here is the last or the belowest part of the stomach. And you should describe the different parts and surfaces of each organ, especially when we study different section of Splanchnology. Topography, and we start from the holotopy. It is a special term, holotopy. This is a location. Usually we talk about location when we mean a holotopy, and this is the body areas, different body areas. There are a lot of areas in our body, and these are borders, special lines between different areas. It is usually we ask and we we would like to know what kind of big region we are talking about when we describe an organ. For example, when we talk about heart, we usually ask you to describe heart position, and this is like here. Usually this is the position of the heart, and the correct answer is that heart is located in the chest area, and it is located in the anterior mediastinum. Close to the sternum. The most part located on the left side, but the small part located on the right side in our body. For the abdominal organs, it is a special holotopy. We have three big area in our abdomen. This one big area we call epigastrium. This part between under the epigastrium called mesogastrium, and the lowest part here we call hypogastrium. Usually for the clinic goals, for the surgeons or therapists, we divide each part for the three regions: right and left hypochondriac regions, here right, and this is the left, and between them is epigastric region. In mesogastrium we have lumbar, right and left lumbar region. More often we call that lateral left and right lateral regions in mesogastrium. And the unpaired region is umbilical region, because it is located in the area where umbulus located. The hypogastriums consist of three areas or regions: inguinal, right and left, and pubic region, because it is located up to the human pubic. So, and you see different organs, different content are project on the anterior abdominal wall, and it is necessary to image what kind of organ are projected on different region of this abdominal section. For respiratory system and for the heart systems, these organs located in the chest, we use different vertical lines. We call it vertical reference lines in our body, in our trunk. Two of them, 1st and 9, are unpaired lines. First we call anterior midline, it is here, and on the posterior surface we have posterior midline. Sorry, this is a some mistake. This is number 10 here. And another vertical reference lines are paired. And let me explain what how we draft them. Anterior trunk midline passing through the center of the sternum. Here is the sternum, and through the center of this bone, vertical anterior midline lines is passed. And I'm sorry. Алло, Владимир Константинович, лекцию читаю, перезвоню, хорошо? Алло. Sternal line, this is the number 2, and this line is passing along the sternum margin. This is the margin of the sternum. The third is parasternal line, and this 4 is a mid-clavicular line. It's very important line because we often use it in the clinic. It goes through in the center, the midpoint of the clavicle, and sometimes it is identical to the nipple line, because for men it passes through the nipple here, so it is the same nipple line or midpoint or a mid-clavicular line. On the lateral side of the body, lateral surface, we have two axillary line. Anterior, here number 5, mid axillary line, and posterior axillary line, 6 and 7. And on the posterior surface we have scapular line, number 8, paravertebral line, that is the line is passing through the transverse processes. Here the transverse processes, and that is the paravertebral line. And posterior midline is through the inferior angle of processus spinosus of the vertebra. Please take in memory all of these vertical reference lines, and I hope it will be very useful for clinician disciplines. And the next topography section is the skeletotopy. What does it mean? Skeletotopy, that is a relation, organ relation to bones. You see, here this is a stomach, and the upper part of the stomach, it is the margin of the vertebra 12, but the lower border of stomach is on the level of the second lumbar vertebra. It is also, we can divide the duodenum, the beginning of this intestinum is located on the lumbar vertebra number 1, and the end is on lumbar vertebra number 2 here. This is the outgang of this organ. And the last section of topography we call Synthopy. What does it mean? This is a relation organ to the other ones. Here you see the complex of abdominal organs, and this is a kidney. Here is the stomach, and this combination means Synthopy. What kind of organs nearby? For example, here is the duodenum, and it is very, very close to the 3 organs. This is a kidney, right kidney. This is the colon transversus. This is a part of intestinum crassum, and also it is not drafted here, but it is present. This is the pancreas, another parenchymal organs. This is the big glands, or big digesting glands of in our body. The shape of organs sometimes depends on the constitutional features, or habitus. We call this as a Greek name, habitus. It means that constitutional or organization of our body. Usually we talk about 3 types of constitution: normosthenics here, asthenics here, and hypersthenics. Hypersthenics, maybe you remember, this is a big and large body. Asthenics is usually a long and tall body, and normosthenics, this is normal between those, between normosthenic and asthenics. And you see how different shape might be in asthenics body, or in comparison with the hypersthenic. This is a stocking shape for asthenics, horn shape of our stomachs in hypersthenics habitus, and hook stakes, like a hook for fishing. This is for normosthenic. So it is necessary to understand what that shape of our organs depends of the constitutional feature. Next is internal structure of our organ. This is some kind of special organization of tissue or structural elements. For example, here this is a liver under magnification, quite middle magnification, and we see this structure, octagonal structure, 6 angle, and this is the hepatic lobule. This is a structural and functional unit in our liver. For lungs, we can also find this structural and functional unit, and we call such unit acinus. This is a small combination, the terminal parts of bronchs, and this is the parts where air where air come in, and this is the parts of lungs where is how to say, when air come to the blood here, like, and the oxygen, carbohydrate come out to the, this is a vessel in German, but sorry, I forgot the name. Okay, organ innervation is and blood supply are always necessary for all information about organs, and we very often will show you the intravital research method like rentgenography. This is the rentgenography of intestinal colon, where use special chemical salt, barium, sodium, and this is a combination with air and barium, sodium. And let's go on to the another slide. This is the internal organ classification. And you see that it's very simple classification, because all of internal organs can be divided onto tubular or hollow organs, and the second group is parenchymal organs. What does it mean? Hollow organs or tubular organs. This is the organs characterized by the presence some kind of cavity inside of the organ, and these tubular organs look like a tube. This is maybe stomach, maybe esophagus, maybe intestinum tenue or colon. Almost every digestive organs is hollow organs. Parenchymal organs. This is the organs built from the dense tissue, and it has the same consistency. What has a name parenchyma. This is a Greek term, parenchyma, and then we call all of these dense organs what doesn't have cavity inside, we call parenchymal organs. A couple of words about wall structure of tubular organs. We could divide all of tubular organs into four layers. First one, inside of each hollow organs we could find mucous membrane or mucosa. We call it tunica mucosa in Latin. Second is, here is the mucosa, you see, here is mucosa, or here is mucosa. It is an inner layer. Submucosal layer is quite strong. We call it tela submucosa in Latin. And usually it is between mucosa and muscular layer. Muscular layer is made from the muscular tissue, and we call it tunica muscularis in Latin. And the out of the layer covers the organ outside, we call it would be two names: adventitia. This is the external connective tissue layer, or serosa layer. We call it tunica serosa in Latin. Usually it would be the adventitia or serosa layers in the same organ. It means that one organ may have adventitia as well as serosa layer. Here is the submucosal layer. Here is the muscle layer, but this one here is serosa layer because we are talking about intestinum here. What about mucosa? Mucosa has three layers, sub-layers. Epithelium, this is on the surface, inner surface. Here is epithelium. Then mucosa layer, we call it lamina propria mucosa here, and this one is from muscular small muscular cells inside of mucosa, and it has the name lamina muscularis of mucosa. Don't be confused because we have muscular layers and muscular lamina or muscular plate inside of mucous membrane. What is the function of mucous membrane? Usually mucosa produce some secret. This is a digestive ferments. It is also give us a mechanical and chemical protection from the agents come with the foods or drinks. Sometimes we eat some microorganisms like viruses, microbes, etc. And this is a mechanical and chemical protection what provides by mucous membrane. It is also make transport of whole of it. It usually help to transport all of food or drinks inside of hollow organs. It is also maintain the constantly of hemostasis and defend us from the biological agents. And for the mucosa, it is maybe also very important function. This is absorption of nutrients and fluids. Usually mucosa has different folds. It would be longitudinal folds like in esophagus or for ureteris. It would be mesh folds like in stomach. It would be circular folds like the mucous membrane in intestinum, our intestinum. And sometimes mucosa produce special structure we call the valves, and they help to move or to make peristaltic in only one direction. from intestinum to the colon. Here is the interesting and famous structure called ileocecal walls here. We could find different cells on different epithelium on the surface on mucosal. It would be stratified squamous epithelium, like here in oral cavity. It would be a monolayer epithelium, and it would be columnar or cubic epithelium cells. Usually we could find columnar epithelium in stomach and colon, and in the respiratory organs we could find a cubical epithelium. And sometimes we could find the ciliated epithelium, with what has every cell has special appendices, special small cilia, and usually this structure move in one direction and they help to move the structure what come from the surface, and they move them outside. And some outgrowths like cilia would be found in the intestinal. We call them intestinal villus. This is a quite big structures. Usually, if we take small magnification, and we could find this intestinal villus in duodenum, in ileum, and in jejunum. This is a 3 part of intestinum in our body. And we could find visible papillae in tongue. They also are outgrowth of mucosal membrane or layer. Sometimes we could find glands in mucosa propria. It would be one cells, like here, unicellular glands, or sometimes it would be multicellular. A lot of cells are located in one gland. And on the surface of mucosa we could find the lymphoepithelial structure. A lot of such structure we could find in intestinum ileum, and they would be solitary or separated, small one, or aggregated lymphatic follicles, and they are up to 15 millimeters in the geometric sizes. Submucosal level, it is here, submucosal, and usually submucosa is provider of blood and nervous supply, nervous regulation, because a lot of vessels and nerves come, and they are located in this layer, in submucosal layer. This is a muscle layer. Usually each organ has two sub layers of this muscular tunic, we call it in Latin, and it would be out in inner or sometimes middle layer, like in stomach. And outer layer called has a two name. It would be Adventist. It is a build of fibrous connective tissue, and when this is the part or the layer where located small vessels, and usually Adventist helps to fix to make organs stable, because it is connection it connect with the other organ or other walls or other anatomical structure, and fix make it localized these organs. Serous coat we call tunica serous. This is a serous membrane, and usually it presents for organs in the chest and abdominal cavity. Very often organ has a serous coat when they change their position in the area, and usually this is a three combination of layers, and we call this serous coat because of the term serous. This is the name of proteins. Actually, the serous membrane produce this fluid with the proteins, and it helps to move or to slide organs each other, because it reduce the friction. Serous coat we could find in pleural cavity. This is on the surface of the lungs, and we could find serous coat called or named peritoneum. This is a special name of serous coat in the abdominal cavity, and pleura. This is the serous coat in for respiratory organs, for the lungs and the pleural cavity as well. What's the function of serous coat? As I said before, this is a delimitation. This is the prevention of concretion of organs by close contact. It helps to peristaltics process and for regeneration. Sometimes organs are damaged, like it would be during surgical operation. Sometimes it is wounds, would be like damages with sharp or with a bullet, and after regeneration, serous coat helps to produce new cells and new tissue, and sometimes in this damaged area we could find a special new anatomical structure like ligaments. We call them spiky or connection in Russian. And next slide show you different layers for esophagus. You see that the different digestive layers have different combination of layers. Here is esophagus, and you see quite thick muscular system. This is the stomach, and here is the small intestine, and you see very special structure, intestinal villus, we discuss that. before, and colon layers also is different, also is not similar to the small intestinal layers. So usually it is necessary for anatomist to understand what kind of organs we study under magnification in microscope, by microscope, and usually all anatomists and are very well in definition of the kind of organs when we see these layers under microscopy study. Parenchymal organs. Parenchymal organs has one feature. They consist of the thick tissue called parenchyma. This is a part of parenchymal organs, but between parenchyma we have connective tissue, and we name them stroma elements here. The stroma and parenchyma. There are two parts of each parenchymal organs. For instance, I can name such organ like lungs, like a heart, like liver, or Владимир Витальевич, я лекцию читаю, извините, не могу сейчас говорить. And different organ in our body are parenchymal organs. Okay, and we can subdivide parenchymal organs for segments. This is a quite big element of organs. Usually this is a microscopically visible part, and this segment has autonomous circulation, innervation, and limited by connective tissue layer. It is quite big, but small structural and functional unit we call in Russian структурно-функциональная единица, because this is a structural and functional, it is the same. The structure and function is they combined together. This is the smallest part of organ, and usually we could find such structural and functional elements or units almost in every parenchymal organs. Let's take an example. Kidney. Here is the kidney, and the smallest structure or smallest unit, structural and functional unit, we call nephron. Here is in white color. This is a kidney nephron. Nephron, as maybe you remember, nephros in Greek means kidney, and nephron, this is a smaller structural and functional unit for the kidney. In essence, we also talked about acids in lungs, and almost every parenchymal organ has own structural and functional elements or units. Here is the segments. Here segments in lungs, and here the segments in liver. So it is a quite big part of organs. And glands, because mostly all parenchymal organs produce some secretions, we call them glands, and it would be exocrine glands here, this group, and endocrine glands. Endocrine glands, which means what is the difference between exocrine and endocrine glands? Exocrine glands, they produce secret. Secret comes out inside of hollow organs, or sometimes out of our skin. For example, when a lot of glands are located in our skin, and they produce secret out on the surface of the skin. And usually they have special duct or special tube what eliminate secret out. But another position, another situation is for endocrine glands. There is no duct, and secret comes into the blood vessels. It comes here. It means that no ducts, no tube connecting endocrine glands with the hollow organ, with the space, with the cavity in hollow organs, or no connection for the external environment for endocrine glands. So that is the difference. Sometimes we could find exocrine and endocrine elements in one glands, like pancreas. This is a organ of digestive systems. We have this one, exocrine glands, but inside we have Langerhans insulas, and they work as endocrine elements inside of pancreas. Exocrine glands may be mucosas, serosal or mixed. They can produce serosal mucosal fluid, but sometimes it is a mixed. It would be also simple or complex glands. Simple is usually from one cells, but complex or multi cells, there are a lot of cells in one glands. And we will study glands more carefully in details when we study digestive and respiratory system, etc. What kind of conclusions I would like to underline after this block of information? First of all viscera, or we call in other words internal organs, includes organs on different systems, and they are looks like a big tube located along our body, and this is tubes combinates and have out part and in part foramina for coming different nutrients or air inside of our body. And internal organ could be divided into tubular and parenchymal organs. This is very important. No other way. We would have only tubular from one side or parenchymal organs from the other side. Hollow organs or tubular organs have usually four layers: mucous, serous, and muscular. Between muscular and mucous has submucosal layer. This is the fourth one. And parenchymal organs would have parenchyma or stroma. This is a combination of parenchyma and stroma. Phylogenesis of internal organs. If we see the simple organisms like intestinals or comb jelly, this is a comb jelly, and we could find a simple digestive system, because digestive system is the most ancient systems in the world. And this is the phylogenesis of digestive system. For the first organisms like Hydra, we have only one cavity inside. Then we have the tube. Here is the mouth. This is the anus, and then we have the enlargements like ventricles inside, and this is a typical digestive systems organization in invertebrals. And this is also respiratory system phylogenesis from fish to mammals. And you see that the structure what are used for the respiratory process, the more and more complicated become more and more complicated in evolution. And ontogenesis, I remember you that there are three objects for ontogenesis. It would be ectoderm. Here in yellow is ectoderm. This is the entoderm. It's like a primary tube inside of the embryon, and between them in red is mesoderm. So only three embryon elements: ectoderm, mesoderm, and entoderm here. And this is a 4 weeks embryon. Inside of this embryon we could find the primary gut or the primary intestine, and from the head we have the invagination in the mouth. It is will be in mouth in the next, and the anus or cloac cavity from the other side of the body. And usually from the primary gut would be divided onto the 4 parts. This is a head part, this is a trunk part, anterior, middle, and posterior tube in primary gut. And couple of words about abnormalities for this is. It would be different abnormalities. I'd like to show you only some of them. This is the agenesis. What does it mean? Agenesis when there is no organ. Here is one kidney, but only right kidney, and no left kidney. It means that no production, this is absolutely absent organ. Aplasia is another kind of agenesis, but usually there is no kidney, but we could find ureter here. and we call this aplasia. Hypoplasia, this is when organ in small size, like here. Kidney is left kidney is small, but right kidney is normal. We call this process hypoplasia of left kidney. Hyperplasia, this is one organ is bigger than usual. And duplication, like here, this is 3 kidney, 2 right kidney here, and only 1 left kidney. This is normal. But combination, duplication, this is also abnormality. Sometimes 2 kidney combine and use the one big kidney. This is another abnormalities. Atresia, this is no anus here, when the hollow organs is not open to the, not connect to the external environment. Diverticle, this is a anomal appendices of the hollow organs. Heterotopy or dystopy, this is a small girl. They have heart on the anterior wall of the chest, and inside of this structure heart is located. So this girl need to be operated for that. And inversion is this inversion is the abnormalities when the organs are located in the extraversal inversion position. Here we could find half inversion when the heart is heart and lungs located normal, but abdominal organs like liver located in the inversion position. Big most part of the liver located on the left side. Usually normal position is right. Okay, this is all for now, my friends, and I won't give you test today, and please, if you have questions, send me in our dialogues in Moodle, and I hope to see you next Monday. We will have the last lection this day, and I wish you everything good, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.